In the ancient days, centuries after the Great Flood, when the earth was once again filled with the sounds of humanity, the descendants of Jacob, God's chosen people, had multiplied greatly and settled in the land of Egypt. But their prosperity awakened fear and cruelty in the hearts of their oppressors. Pharaoh, the mighty ruler of Egypt, enslaved them, forcing them into back-breaking labor, building cities and monuments under the scorching sun. Their lives were made bitter with harsh service, and their cries echoed across the vast desert, a lamentation rising to the heavens. But in the midst of this brutal bondage, a whisper of hope was born. His name was Moses. Pharaoh, fearing the growing numbers of the Israelites, issued a horrific decree. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be cast into the Nile River. But a mother's faith defied it. She placed her infant son in a basket of papyrus, coated with pitch, and set him adrift on the life-giving waters. By divine providence, he was found and raised in the very palace of his oppressors, growing up among the very people who enslaved his own. God had not forgotten his covenant people. He heard their groaning, remembered his solemn promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And so, in a desolate wilderness, tending sheep, God chose to speak to Moses. A bush ablaze with fire, yet not consumed, drew Moses closer. From the heart of the flames, a voice called out, "Moses! Moses!" It was the Lord, the God of his fathers. God revealed his sacred name. "I am who I am," and laid out his divine plan. And God said, "I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Moses, however, was filled with doubt and trepidation. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" he stammered. "What if they don't believe me?" God assured him, "I will be with you." He gifted Moses with miraculous signs, a staff turning into a serpent, a hand becoming leprous and then clean again. And he sent Moses' older brother, Aaron, to be his spokesman. Moses returned to Egypt, his heart now fortified by God's promise. He and Aaron confronted Pharaoh, declaring God's command, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh's heart was hardened. He dismissed their plea, scoffed at their God, and increased the burden of the Israelites' labor, demanding bricks without straw. Then began a series of divine judgments. Water turned to blood. Frogs infested every corner of the land. Gnats and flies swarmed. A deadly pestilence struck the livestock. Boils afflicted people and animals. Hail and fire rained down. Locusts devoured every green thing. Oppressive darkness covered Egypt for 3 days. Each plague, escalating in severity, was a testament to God's mighty power and Pharaoh's obstinacy. Yet, through it all, the Israelites were spared. Finally, the 10th and most terrible plague arrived. God commanded the Israelites to mark their doorposts with the blood of a lamb. That night, the angel of death passed over Egypt, striking down the firstborn of every Egyptian household, from the humblest servant to Pharaoh's own son. A cry of anguish filled the land, a sound of unimaginable sorrow. At last, Pharaoh relented. He called for Moses and Aaron in the dead of night and urged them, "Get out! Leave my people, you and the Israelites. Go, worship the Lord as you have requested." The Israelites marched out of Egypt, a vast multitude of freed slaves, carrying their unleavened bread and whatever valuables the Egyptians had given them. God himself led them, a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. But Pharaoh's heart hardened once more. Embittered by his loss, he mustered his chariots and his mighty army and pursued them. He trapped the Israelites at the edge of the Red Sea, a vast expanse of water before them, and the Egyptian army behind them. Fear gripped the people, and they cried out to Moses, despairing. Moses, however, stood firm in his faith. "Do not be afraid," he declared. "Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today." Then at God's command, Moses lifted his staff over the sea. The waters parted. A dry path appeared through the midst of the sea, walled on either side by towering waves. The entire nation of Israel walked through on dry ground, miraculously escaping their pursuers. As the last Israelite reached the far shore, the Egyptian army, in hot pursuit, plunged into the opened sea. And then the walls of water crashed down, engulfing Pharaoh's chariots and his entire army. Not one of them survived. Beyond the Red Sea, a new journey began. Life in the wilderness was challenging, but God's provision was constant. And he sent manna from heaven to feed them, and brought water from the rock to quench their thirst. He guided them, protected them, and taught them. On Mount Sinai, amidst thunder and lightning, smoke and the blast of a trumpet, God spoke to his people. He gave them his law, the 10 Commandments, a covenant of life, outlining how they were to live as a holy nation, distinct from all others. Though they faltered, even crafting a golden calf in rebellion, God's patience endured, and Moses interceded tirelessly on their behalf. For 40 years they wandered in the wilderness, learning to trust God's every command, purified by hardship, strengthened by miracles. Though Moses himself, due to a moment of disobedience, would not enter the promised land, he led his people to its very borders, overlooking the land flowing with milk and honey. A generation forged in fire and faith was ready to inherit their destiny. The story of Moses and the Exodus is more than an ancient tale of liberation. It is a profound testament to God's power, his unwavering faithfulness, and his deep love for his people. It reminds us that he hears the cries of the oppressed. He raises up leaders from unexpected places. He breaks the chains of bondage. And he makes a way where there seems to be no way, even parting a mighty sea. In our own times of oppression or despair, may we remember the parting of the Red Sea. When doubts assail us, may we recall the voice from the burning bush that declared, "I am who I am." And when we seek guidance, may we turn to the eternal laws given on Sinai. Moses' life speaks of courage, intercession, and unwavering trust in the Almighty. His legacy calls out to us still to stand for justice, to obey God's call, and to trust that he will deliver his people, even through the darkest storms. If this story moved you, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of truth, courage, and faith. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.